Hi everybody, it's Sarah. Today we're going to do a deep hip release practice, really good for relieving lower back pain. And I know that's very needed when we're sitting a lot all day like many of us do. So let's start on the back. Come on down and lay on your back. Let your palms face up alongside your body and take your feet mat width distance apart. And then start to gently and very subtly windshield wipe the knees back and forth, tuning into how that feels in the areas where the lower back and outer gluteal muscles start to connect and massage. How's your back feeling today? What sensations do you notice? And then very gradually you start to windshield wipe a little more side to side, letting the arms come out more to a T, letting the heads kind of do it at once. A few more windshield wipers. And tuning into your breath. The breath is always available in this practice. Now, when you bring the knees back to center, bring your feet on the ground, hip width distance, and hug your right knee in toward your side waist. Give it a squeeze. Slide your left leg out straight and long on the floor. And we're holding that right thigh in toward the side rib, trying to nestle that right knee toward the top of the clavicle bone on the right side. Then reach your right hand down for the outside edge of the foot or the ankle and lift that right sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Now take your left arm up alongside the ear and reach the fingertips slightly away over to the right, away from that left heel, and let your gaze spill to the right. Drop the right shoulder blade down and using your right hand, plug and draw that right heel down toward the knee. And with your mind's eye, tune in deep into that right lower back and press the right lower back and sitting bone away from your right shoulder blade. And just hold there for a moment. Breathing. The left inner thigh is wrapping toward the ground. And gradually, they start to extend your right leg out toward half of a V shape. Keep dropping that left sitting bone and butt down toward the ground as much as you can without force. And breathing, of course. So you feel this kind of opening, stretching along the left side as well as deep in that right inner thigh psoas. And then slowly bring that right heel back over the knee so it's back to a half happy baby pose. And then release the right heel down, hands in front of the shin again, give it a little squeeze, then extend the right sole of the foot toward the ceiling, hands behind the thigh bone, calf, or ankle, or maybe reaching up for the toes. And draw that right leg, the entire right leg, a little closer toward your body. Breathing into any area that feels tight. And remember, is your face feeling very scrunched? If so, relax and soften your face, your eyebrows, your lower jaw, the center of your throat. And always a smooth, steady breath. So we're holding poses a little bit longer to get a little more deeper into the muscle tissue and fascia for this deep hip release practice. Tight hips often lead to lower back discomfort. And also sometimes emotions could get stored in your hips that need some breath and some attention. Lightly step your left foot on the ground. Cross your right ankle over on top. So we're coming into reclined pigeon pose, figure 4. Thread the needle, slip your right hand right in between that space in the legs, and hands are in the left knee crease. Extend your left sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Press your right lower back toward the ground as you gently draw your left thigh in toward your body, and a little rocking side to side. You can explore a subtle rocking action and see how that feels in your hip. And then come to pause. The collarbones are broad. Lingering there a few moments longer. And draw the legs a little bit closer. Take an inhale breath. When you exhale, release your left foot onto the ground. And then bring your left heel behind your right sitting bone and start to let that left knee move forward. So this right knee is now pointing up toward the sky. And then you may be able to bring that right sole of the foot toward the floor and reach down with your right hand and touch that left foot. And then take your left arm, drape it right up alongside the ear, and reach your left. Did I say right arm? I meant left. Reach your left fingertips. I don't remember what I said. Reach your left fingertips now, up and away from the front of your mat. So we kind of move the left fingertips over to the right and look to the right and think of this length from your left pinky all the way down into your left inner knee. And you breathe. And we feel that left arm bone drop down into the shoulder socket. So both shoulders are relaxed. Breathing there. Inhale, fill the belly. And exhale, release that left arm into a cactus. And then take your right arm into a cactus. Uncross. Cross both ankles. Right ankle in front of the left. Let your knees open. So we're in this crossed ankle, reclined Sukhasana. Reach your arms overhead, stretch your fingertips away from the front of your mat. Look up with your eyes. Look up as if you're trying to look toward the wall behind you for a moment. Stretch the fingertips away from your toes. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands through heart center. Squeeze your knees in. Hug your knees in and come into a full happy baby, reaching for the outside edges of the feet. And let's pause there with the heels right over the knees. Any subtle rocking is welcome. Or maybe it feels good for you to just stay still for a little while and trace a line through the center of the body, crown to tail. And come back to a smooth, steady breath through your nose. Good. And then release the soles of feet together, knees splay open. Rest the outside edges of the feet into the ground. And then squeeze the knees together. Bring your feet on the floor and hug your left knee in. We're going to do that whole sequence on the other side. God bless if I can remember it. Draw that left thigh toward your body. Slide your right leg out straight. Squeeze that left thigh in toward the side waist. Any amount without being too forceful. Always want to find a sense of steadiness and ease in the breath, in the effort level. Good. Now we're going to come into the half happy baby. Left hand reaches for the outer foot or ankle. Left heel lifts right over the left knee. You keep plugging that left shoulder blade down. And then stretch your right arm right up alongside the ear, palm facing up. In a little bit, we reach the right fingertips to the left. And we start to drag the outer left foot toward the knee and peek to the left. Left elbow can be a little soft, so that doesn't hyperextend. Then very gradually, you may be able to start to extend that left heel out, coming to more of a half of a V shape, and you keep weighting that right thigh bone and sitting bone down, but you don't have to overdo. Just whatever amount's available. Continue to breathe wherever you're at. If that feels too much to have that leg straight, you could always have like this half kind of happy baby position and work with that. Find an appropriate place for you to be able to breathe. Just pausing a little extra time in the poses today. And then gradually bring that left heel back over the knee. Good. And then hug that left knee in toward your body again. Give it a squeeze. Now extend the left sole of the foot toward the ceiling, hand behind the thigh bone, calf, or ankle. Draw that entire left leg toward you. The right inner thigh moves toward the floor. Now we're stepping that right foot on the ground and cross the left ankle over on top of the right thigh, coming into figure 4. Thread the needle, and let's take this version where you extend the right foot toward the ceiling. press that left lower back down and pause there. Figure 4, reclined pigeon. So it's really targeting this outer hip, butt, piriformis area. Really nice posture that for many folks with lower back pain, it's a very helpful posture every day to do. As you stay, you can play with a little bit of core awareness, bringing the belly in toward the spine in a subtle way. And one more inhale, hug the legs a little closer in, and then release your right foot onto the floor. Now, heel toe that right foot over to the left so that right heel is about behind your left sitting bone, and then start to let that right knee fall forward and slightly to the right until your left sole of the foot comes down toward the ground. And then, if it feels okay, stretch that right arm up alongside the ear and reach the right fingertips over to the left. And so we have that nice opening of that whole right side seam down along that right side seam. And you can go ahead and take your left hand to the foot. So you connect your brain right down to that right foot. Where can the breath bring some more space and openness? And where can the exhale allow you to soften a little bit more? Here's a subtle pressing of the left inner knee away from that upper right corner of the mat. Lingering a couple moments longer, really making an effort to not rush today. And we find that exhale, the long exhale, and the pause at the bottom of the exhale. And then bring that right elbow out to a cactus. We're releasing that right foot, and then cross the left ankle in front. Let the knees fall open, any amount. And then reach your hands overhead. Let's interlace the fingers. We'll stretch out the wrists and press the palms away from the tops of the thighs. Let the tailbone fall toward the front of your mat. The inner thighs are moving away from your underarms toward the front of your mat. And let's inhale deep into the belly, deep into the hips. And then exhale, squeeze the knees in. Bring your hands through heart center. Root your feet onto the floor for a moment. Give your feet a little press and lift up your lower back and squeeze your gluteals just slightly, not super, super tight. And then let your lower back melt down really slow. And then let's bring the knees in. One hand on each knee, start to circulate, knees out and then back in. Knees out and then back in. A few slow circles there. Nice movement. How do the hips feel? How does the back feel? And how does that movement change all the way up through the crown of the head? Then bring your knees toward your face toward your knees. Take a big inhale. And when you exhale, cross either ankle on top and rock up. One time. Come on up. We're coming into pigeon. The right foot is in front. The right heel is now in alignment with your sitting bone. Let's slide that left leg around and extend the left leg straight back. So we find our pigeon. Right foot's a little flexed. That right heel comes in a little more in front of the left hip. Left hip rolls down. Left baby toe softens. And then I like to stay up for a moment and just subtly rock the hip side to side, taking your time, finding some breath, and then gradually make your way down to the forearms. So we have that left hip point rolling down toward the ground. The left inner thigh is soft. We want the sensation to be mostly in that outer right hip and butt area, not in the right knee. If your right knee feels any pain, we can flex the right foot to try to relieve it. We could put a blanket or a prop under your right hip, or you could take that reclined pigeon figure 4 on the back instead. And then we want to find a place to rest your forehead on something. The floor, a yoga block would be really good. I like to rest my forehead on the shelf of the hands in a crocodile hands. And And then you can drag your forehead down toward the eye sockets. It's very calming on the nerves. And let's stay here for a few breaths. Lingering here. Relaxing especially your jaw. Take a few slow lower jaw circles to ensure that you unclench. Unclench your teeth. Soften into the shoulder joint. And down along the spine. And down through the left toes. Let your mind go in and down, scanning and noticing. Inviting compassion for whatever is there. Being gentle on yourself. And let's bring your focus into the top of the left foot. Start to slowly come on up. Walk yourself back up onto your hands and shift into the outer right thigh. Let's slide that left leg around. Cross your left ankle in front. Ankles are crossed. Reach that left arm right up alongside the ear. Reach, reach, reach. Start to turn to the right and take your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Take your right fingertips behind. Look over your right shoulder. Sit up tall. Breathe into the belly as you inhale. Lift up through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, let's come around to center. Now we'll step that right foot over to the right. We're bringing that left heel toward that right sitting bone so that that outer left knee starts to drop down. Then slide that right leg back straight behind you. Good. That right hip point rolls toward the floor. Now, we're going to flex that left foot just to ensure that we feel the sensation more so in the outer hip and butt and not in that left knee. Now, you can stay up for a moment, wag the tail a little bit, play with some core awareness of pulling that lower belly in toward the spine to stabilize you a little bit. And then gradually make your way down. And I'm going to stack my opposite hand on top for that crocodile. Rest your forehead on something. And here we come to stay in pigeon pose. Drop your focus again in and down on the breath, on the area of the most sensation. The right hip point rolling down. You might imagine that you have a heavy, warm sandbag resting right on your lower back sacrum, and it's gently pressing down toward the earth. And we relax our jaw, our tongue. Relax in the center of the chest. Inviting anything you want to release to flow out and away with every exhale. And at the bottom of the exhale, feel that belly empty out. Press through the top of the right foot gently and start to slowly come on up. Walk yourself back up onto your hands and shift into that outer left thigh, and then glide that right leg around. Cross your right ankle in front. Rest your left hand right on that left knee and reach your right arm up. Reach, reach, reach. Reach up out of that right hip. Inhale, exhale. We're going to turn to the right. And then left fingertips behind you, right hand on the outer left thigh. Maybe you have like a red mark from resting your forehead. That means you were resting well. And we're breathing. Gently turning the spine, sitting up tall. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, let's come around back to center. And then bring your knees in, bring your feet on the floor. And we'll take your fingertips behind you, lift up. Just sit right on those sitting bones. And we'll windshield wiper the knees. I'm going to face you so you can see. We'll windshield wiper the knees to the right. So as you turn, you're looking at your right knee. And then walk your fingertips around. So it's a real deep lift of your left butt up and over, right rib wrapping to the left rib, and walk around. Hands walking around behind you, and you peek over your right shoulder. lifting the side waists. Good. Inhale, and then exhale. Let's come around back to center. Windshield wiper them all the way over to the left. So you turn and facing that left knee for a moment. The left outer thigh from the hip to the knee is coming down toward the ground. And then walk your hands around. Look over that left shoulder. Sit up tall. Really let that right hip move over toward the midline. And inhale, belly, exhale, draw the belly in. Gently come on back to center. Let's bring the soles of feet together, knees splay open. Wrap your hands in front of your toes. And then we'll lift up the chest. Inhale and exhale back to neutral. From neutral, bring your knees in. Start to come down onto your back again. When you come onto the back, hug your knees in. One more full happy baby. Soles of feet face the sky. And then keeping happy baby legs, interlace your hands behind your head and we'll open the elbows on the inhale. And then exhale, we'll sit up and bring the elbows toward the shins, shins to elbows. We'll reset for your lower back. Try to squeeze your butt muscles there. It's kind of hard to do. And then let your head fall back. Bring your feet on the floor. Pressing through the feet, lift up your butt and then just kind of plop it down. Lift up your tail, plop it down. Lift up, let it drop down and wag the knees a little bit. Good. Press through the feet, engage your gluteals, make a fist. Try to engage and squeeze all your muscles and then release. Extend your legs out. Reach your arms overhead, take a big full inhale, stretch. Point and flex your feet. And release your arms down alongside the body. Shavasana. This is the final pose where all you have to do is rest, let go, relax. Let all the energy mood flow, in particular visualizing a lot of light and space and warmth flowing through the hips. So from the breath, from the heart, energy flowing through the hips, down through the toes and out. Staying here as long as you wish. You may want to stay longer. Please do so if you need to. Roll your head side to side. When you're ready, reach your arms overhead, take a big inhale. And exhale, draw the knees in gently. Just tuning into how your back's feeling, how your hips are feeling. Take your time to roll to either side that feels natural today, to take a pause. And when you're ready, gradually pressing on up. And let's meet up again in an upright seat. Finding a cross-legged seat. Take your hands right to your outer hips, right to your outer kind of butt area. Give a couple circles. Good. Give them a nice awareness, nice warmth. Good. I never know where to look when I'm looking at the iPhone. Like I'm looking at myself kind of, but I don't know where the lens is. Anyway, I want to look at you. I want to thank you. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope your hips and back feel better, and I really appreciate your presence here. Please subscribe and continue to practice with me, and I'll see you next time.